Intelligence Minister Ayanda Dlodlo says State Security Agency is taking the threats made by ISIS to South Africa very seriously. Speaking exclusively to News 24, Dlodlo says the country will ready itself against any threat. Earlier this month, ISIS warned South Africa that it will be opening the fight, this is within its borders, should it get involved in Mozambique's Cabo Delgado province. An organization linked to ISIS is seeking to establish an extremist form of Islamic law in the Mozambican province. In its newsletter published in Arabic, ISIS reportedly wrote that European and American states are trying to convince South Africa to lead the war in Mozambique. Well, let's discuss this further. We're joined by Martin Ewi. He is with the Institute for Security Studies. Martin, good evening. Firstly, let's just talk about what exactly is happening in the northern part of Mozambique. What does ISIS want to do in that part of the country?
Thank you, and good evening. Well, yes, ISIS is now present in northern Mozambique. They have actually hijacked the insurgency that began in 2017. It has become really an international terrorism in northern Mozambique. And therefore, what they want, which is what they have stated, is that they want an Islamic state in northern Mozambique, and they want to transform the secular Mozambican government into a Sharia state, which is not possible because not every Mozambican is a Muslim, and not every Muslim wants to live under the Sharia that ISIS is actually professing.
Part of what we've seen as a part of these plans are that some of the government's own institutions have come under threat, police stations coming under attack, and there seems to be an impression that the Mozambican government has been quite lax in terms of the response to the onslaught that is facing in that part of the province. Give us a bit of the analysis of how the government is actually trying to contain this behavior.
Well, the missed opportunity to silence what is happening now in northern Mozambique was at the beginning of 2017 when the signs were all there. Some people will say it goes back to 2013 when they started seeing the signs. But yet the government ignored it, saying that it was something else. And even when everyone was saying what's happening in northern Mozambique is terrorism, the government was playing the ostrich, saying that, you know, there was no terrorism, it was some few individuals and so on and so forth. But it has gotten to the level where the government cannot stop it. Remember, these people are not just Mozambicans. These are people coming from the neighboring countries. Some are from all over. We hear some are even from Pakistan. And if that's the case, it is very difficult for the Mozambican government to fight this phenomenon alone. Because if they have gathered resources and human resources from all over the region and from other countries outside Africa, then what that means is that the Mozambican government alone cannot stop it. It is a regional issue that all the government in Southern Africa should be involved. And therefore, that's why I think that, you know, the South African government should have been involved earlier on. Right in 2017, we should have been able to know what's happening in northern Mozambique. How does that affect us? What kind of measures can we put in place to make sure that it doesn't spill over?
It looks like the situation right now is very much going to be part of a coordinated global response. But in terms of the region and the expectation on South Africa to take the lead, speak to me about how practical, number one, that is, and the questions of sovereignty, because it's one thing to say that South Africa should have gotten involved much earlier, but of course, if the Mozambican government does not allow room for that, it becomes hard to try and do.
You are absolutely right. This has been an issue, and that's why I said the Mozambican government was playing the ostrich. Because in international law or in international relations, you know, another government cannot just intervene in your issue, no matter how serious that might be, if you yourself have not accepted it and called for help. So the Mozambican government did not call for help initially. They denied it initially. And when it got worse, that's when they started calling for help. But it was too late, because with terrorism, you need to deal with it right from the beginning. The moment the root gets spread, it becomes extremely difficult. And this is where Mozambique finds itself today. The fact that the root of terrorism, before then, ISIS, the Islamic State, was not even involved. And that was when it was possible for the region to stamp out the Mozambican insurgency, that we meet that opportunity. What is it now? It's not all lost, I think. It's not all lost. Because if we take immediate action now, I think we are still able to deal with the insurgency, to deal away with the insurgency. But that will mean that the whole region, all neighboring countries will have to take certain measures which will prevent any illegal movement along their borders. And therefore, they can't fight the insurgency within Mozambique.
Martin, I'm curious.
I think
sure.
your question was really about South Africa leading the regional response. How would that fit into the South African framework? I think the whole call for South Africa to lead is because of the strength of South Africa and the fact that, South Africa has been able to deal with its own terrorism many, many years ago. And therefore, South Africa can bring that experience, to help Mozambique and to help other countries, because, the threat that ISIS presents is to every single country. And I can tell you they have cells in most of the Southern African countries, including South Africa. And it is just a matter of activating those cells that attacks can start.
I'm just curious to know, what are the kind of lessons that we can draw from what has happened elsewhere on the continent? We've had a presence of Boko Haram in Nigeria. Of course, Kenya's own military has been crucial in the fight against Al-Shabaab, and the country has also had to pay a personal dear price for that. Are there things that we know now that perhaps can be employed, lessons that can be employed to ensure that whatever action is put into place in South Africa regarding the assistance to Mozambique, or even the regional response of SADC to what's happening in Mozambique, can be done with as little loss of lives as possible?
Absolutely. There are many lessons to be learned from other experiences around the continent. And I think if we can draw these lessons to bring to bear them on Mozambique, we will be able to make progress. Now, the first thing is, you mentioned Boko Haram. Boko Haram started off just like the situation in northern Mozambique. It started off like a joke. When they set up, they called themselves the Taliban, and people thought they were joking. They would say, Taliban in Nigeria, what is this? Maybe these are just dreamers. And no one took them seriously. But the situation got really bourgeois. In Mali, recently in 2012, we saw how this insurgent, or the Islamic, took over the country, and the region was not able to mount a force. We waited for the UN because there was no funding for the ECOWAS force that was put in place. Nothing happened. Again, in the Lake Chad Basin, Boko Haram posed a serious threat to Nigeria, to Cameroon, to Chad, and to Niger. Yet the countries could not come together to fight the insurgency until it was very late. So they kept it right late. But when they did it, when they came up with the Multinational Joint Task Force, which has been able to create some oasis of peace where Boko Haram cannot attack. We also see that in Somalia, where the African mission in Somalia, AMISOM, has been able to push Al-Shabaab further away from the towns that Al-Shabaab used to control. So I'm not a fan of military force, but when it reaches this stage, you need, whatever strategy you are developing, that military force must be a key part of it. And therefore, I think that a regional force, a regional task force should be put in place to deal with the situation in northern Mozambique.
Let's deal with this threat that seems to have been issued directly to South Africa should the country get involved in any form of military intervention in Mozambique. And of course, there have been big questions around the state of security of South Africa's borders. How seriously should the government be taking this threat? And what does that mean then going forward in terms of South Africa's own physical security when it comes to Mozambique?
Which is true. Look, as I said earlier, we should not only look beyond the borders. The borders are extremely important. We need to start we secure the borders first, but we need to look within also. when the Islamic State issues a threat like that, they are not thinking that, they're going to send men and women from Mozambique, from northern Mozambique. Most often, those elements are already within the country. So what we need to do is to, first of all, assess the security, the threats within South Africa. And if we are able to dictate the support for Islamic State in South Africa, I think we are making a step there. Because remember, many South Africans were recruited to fight with the Islamic State in Syria, and some even went to Iraq. The Islamic State also recruited a number of South Africans who remained here. The Tutsis are some of the examples of the recruits that stayed here and wanted to attack in South Africa. So that potential is there. We've also seen with the Patel who attempted a similar attack. So what I'm cautioning is that we should not take the threat lightly. What this means is not for people to panic in South Africa or even for the government to panic. It is not a moment of panic. It's a moment of assessment. It's a moment of securitization, making sure that we understand where the threats could come from, which are the vulnerable areas of the country that we need to protect.
Martin Ewe, we're going to leave it there for tonight. He's with the Institute for Security Studies. Certainly insightful information around how the country can also be part of the global and the regional response to what is unfolding in Mozambique.